Welcome to this holiday edition of Main Street Living. I'm Cheryl Nelson.
Hey, I'm Quincy Carr.
And I'm Danielle Alvari.
Trying to get a little festive for you guys. How are you guys feeling about everything?
If you're talking about my team, during, I
wasn't gonna ask, Quincy. I wasn't gonna do it, but
yeah,
since you brought it up,
hopeful. That's all. Just hopeful.
Yeah, there you go. I know. And it's definitely been a different year, guys, where you're talking about sports or the pandemic or just life in general. It seems like 2020 has definitely not been normal for any of us. But we have to remember that there are things to be grateful for, right?
For
True.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there were positives this year. What was a positive for you this year, Cheryl?
I think for me, I mean, you both know that I have such a love for travel and exploration. And I said, okay, how am I still going to travel and do it safely? What can I do? So my husband and I decided that we would go and visit a bunch of national parks. And so we did that. And
you have pictures.
Yellowstone. Yeah, it's just so cool. Those pools are so crystal clear, but they are burning, boiling hot. And otherwise, I probably would have jumped the fence and tried to go in there because they look so nice and warm. But Yellowstone was just full of geysers and these pools and all kinds of cool things. Some boiling mud pots as well. It was really neat. If you've never been out to Yellowstone, definitely want to check that out. So that was one of the parks that I went to. We actually went to, several different national parks out there. This was Capitol Reef National Park, and this one was in Utah. And my husband got very nervous about how
I was going to say, you're very precarious.
Of that cliff that I got. I don't think I realized how close I was. I mean,
and
the wind was blowing, as you can see my hair too. Like, ooh, maybe I should have been a little bit safer there, but I'm all right. It's all good. Cool picture. And then the Grand Tetons, that was absolutely gorgeous too. I mean, just the snow-capped mountains. And this was in, let me think, late June, early July.
What mountains were those?
Those are the Tetons, the Grand Tetons.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and then I have one more picture here to show you. And this was Bryce.
The Hoodoos.
Yes, my favorite, the Hoodoos in Utah. So super thankful that the national parks were open and that we were able to do this year. Danielle, how about you?
Well, we spent a lot of time inside, so I got to kind of, rediscover painting. And when I did go outside, I got to see kind of the new place I live, right? I moved to Las Vegas this year, and so I got to go see the Hoover Dam. But first, take a look. This is a painting I did for a friend for Christmas. He lived in Madrid for a year, and he said he wanted, something to remember it by. So I just, painted kind of a Madrid icon on this mirror for him. So I got to kind of spend a lot of time, doing maybe hobbies we didn't get to used to do so much. And there's my friend's dog. So that's my friend's dog for Christmas, Riley. Adopt, don't shop. And that's me at the Hoover Dam. So I didn't realize the Hoover Dam, 40-minute drive from Las Vegas, super doable. And it was gorgeous. And I think that bridge is the second highest one in America, I believe. That bridge that we're on there taking that picture. So, Quincy, what about you?
Yeah, well, I know I see that you and Cheryl were definitely in high places. I got a chance to travel down south earlier this year because I perform on cruise ships. And obviously there's no cruises, but I've never been down to South America. Got a chance to go through the Panama Canal on those cruise ships. That was a beautiful city of Curacao. And I was pronouncing it wrong. Hey, I'm in Curacao.
I've always wondered.
No, it's not that. Yeah, just a lot of fun traveling to exotic places I never thought I'd be able to travel to. And then, just watching my daughter, playing her first basketball season. So it was pretty cool. Yep. There she goes. I was giving her a high five. So
it looks like you're giving her a hard time.
Yeah. I was. And then, of course, we got a chance to march and, kind of do the whole social justice thing.
It's huge this year,
So just something to remember. It was a great year. Well, it was a great year just considering the circumstances because we're still here.
Yes, you got to pick out the good things and not just focus on what's bad and what didn't happen in 2020. And, we've got a lot coming up on Main Street Living today. And first, we're going to talk about some coping methods to help you get through this unique holiday season.
Yeah, that's right. We're also satisfying our appetites when Sam the cooking guy stops by, too.
That's right. Lots to look forward to on this show. Cheryl, what do we have first?
Yes. So coming up next, we're going to talk about the Nutcracker Marathon. Find out exactly what that means next.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. You know, with all of the uncertainty that we've had to deal with this year, there's just something so comforting about the holiday classics.
True.
I know. I got my Christmas tree, my Santa hat, all this stuff not going away. That's not changing. However, this year has forced many of us to change or rework some of our favorite holiday traditions. And joining us now to talk about the tradition of the Nutcracker is Roy Kaiser. He's the artistic director for the Nevada Ballet Theatre. Welcome to Main Street Living.
Hello. Thanks for having me back. It's good to be here.
Good to see you again. So you just had a special Home for the Holidays. And as you prepare for Marathon Week, what was your goal with creating this special broadcast? And what are you hoping that people take away from it?
Well, our initial goal was to give our public and everybody in Las Vegas really a different view of the Nutcracker. I mean, it's a tradition that goes back almost 40 years here in Las Vegas, and we just couldn't bear to imagine a year where there was no Nutcracker presence in Las Vegas. So we were very fortunate to be able to partner with the people at the RJ and put together three very, I think, very different, but all very interesting looks at our production. And hopefully, you know, the people that have come to see us for many years enjoyed getting some of the behind the scenes looks at what we do and what it takes to put the show on. But I also hope that maybe we exposed a few new people to the ballet. And when we're back on stage, they'll come back and see us.
Yeah, Roy, you know, exposure is definitely the most important thing, as well as bringing back some of the old fans as well. How long will these episodes be available, and where can someone find them if they missed it?
You know, you can find them right now on our website, nevadaballet.org, and also on the RJ website, reviewjournal.com. Ours will be up forever. Ours will be on our website. The RJ will be there for a few months.
Okay.
That's what I love about the internet. I mean, you put something on the website, you're right, it could live forever. And so that's a great way for people to watch and get into the holiday spirit. And something else that you've done that I think is really cool is that you've partnered with the Discovery Children's Museum on the Nutcracker extravaganza behind the scenes. Tell us more about that and what that involves.
Well, I'm heading down there as soon as we're done this morning to put the finishing touches on one-of-a-kind exhibit. We have usually our sets and costumes would be on the Smith Center stage right now, and we'd be performing. We've had a relationship with Discovery Children's Museum going back a number of years where we did have a Nutcracker display. But this is the actual, it's over 20 costumes from the actual production, set pieces, some video throughout. And hopefully we'll create a nice special opportunity for young kids to see the production up close.
Yeah, and the NBT, they launched a special content and fundraising platform over the summer, Dance On with NBT. And this is a way to connect the patrons, you know, and offer ways to support the company. So how can the community get involved, Roy, and help them get back to the stage?
Well, you know, the first thing they can do is go onto our website and check out Dance On with NBT. It's really one of the primary ways that we're able to communicate with our constituency and with the public at large. There's a lot of content on there. There's a lot of behind the scenes things. There's a lot of, I think, interesting content for the public. And then it's also a fundraising tool. So, you know, people can, you know, we want to come back next season for our 50th anniversary season healthier than ever. So,
wow.
50 years, can you believe it?
Oh my gosh.
So,
and after the pandemic, people are going to be ready to celebrate.
I hope so. We certainly will be. And we'll be ready to have people in our audience, and we're ready to be doing what we love to do. So so people can go on there, they can check us out, they can stay in touch with us, and we'll stay in touch with them. We have a newsletter that goes out every couple of weeks. And then they can also contribute by texting. I have to read this, DOWNBT, Dance On with NBT. Text that to 76278, and
right.
Cool.
Help us out. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. And, you know, we're so excited for your big anniversary. And thank you so much, Roy, for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you. I wish the same to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And don't forget, too, to check your Cox programming guide for air times for all of the Home for the Holidays Nutcracker programming. You can also go online once again to the nevadaballet.org to see the episodes and schedule.
Yeah, Cheryl. And with all this talk about dancing, that sure works up an appetite. And great news, because up next, we're going to see who's cooking.
All right. Welcome back to Main Street Living. We are getting our chef hats on now. And guys, I think one thing I would love to do in the new year is learn to be a better cook.
Yeah, I don't know if people really remember, but I had a brownie segment earlier this year, so I've started baking them a lot. So I started baking. Yeah, well, y'all remember that. Don't act like you were surprised. I didn't give you.
I would also like Cheryl to get better at cooking. That's my.
Yeah,
well, you live across the country. You wouldn't benefit.
Well, the one thing is for sure is this has definitely been the year. So for so many of us to become cooks, like it or not, it's exactly the space that our next guest fills. He's got a cooking show for the rest of us, demonstrating how to make food that's big in taste and small in effort. So please welcome Sam, the cooking guy, to the show. Welcome, Sam.
Morning. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the nice introduction.
Well, no problem. You wrote it for me to say, so I had to say it.
Well, no, but the rest of us part. I mean, you know, you said in the beginning, one of you guys said in the beginning, let's get our chef hats on, and I take a little exception to that because I think that's the kind of terminology that can actually throw people.
Yeah.
You know, a chef to me is classically trained, culinary school education, restaurants under their belt, that kind of stuff. I make food that is fully accessible. A lot of the stuff that I make, I think most people may already have most of the ingredients in their pantry, in their fridge, in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to make food that's great, that people can go, oh, holy crap, I can actually make this, and I didn't think I could.
So how did you actually get started as the cooking guy?
You know, this is a perfect question for a 4-hour interview show, Quincy, but I'll shorten it down to tell you that I had an idea about a travel show. I was the director of operations at a biotech company at the time. And I had an idea about a travel show. Really, everything was predicated on me just wanting to be happy in my career. I always talk about this. We spend an enormous chunk of our lives working, and you better like it or it's going to be miserable. And I was miserable. So I quit my job. And before I got a chance to go shoot anything over there for a demo, 9/11 happened. And I always say that day changed thousands of other people's lives much more significantly than mine, but it still changed my life because I couldn't shoot any travel stuff. I'd never been on TV. Nobody was buying travel shows in the days following 9/11. I couldn't go back to the biotech company. And so I sat at home watching TV, came across a really horrible cooking segment in a local channel. And that made me say, that is so bad. Somebody should do that better. Nice. And that was it. We shot a demo. We sent it out. It ended up being on a local station a couple times a week. Then it became a half-hour show. Then Discovery Health came along, and a publisher came along, bought my first 3 cookbooks. My 4th cookbook just came out. And YouTube happened about 7 years ago, but nobody really paid any attention to it until 2 years ago. In May of 2018, we had 30,000 subscribers. August of 19, we hit 1 million subscribers.
Wow.
August of 20, a few months ago, we've hit 2 million subscribers. We're now at 2.5 million. And I think it's a testimony, not so much for my charming personality, quick wit, good looks and all that, but people wanting yearning for someone to say, you can make this. Mm-hmm. Other people are making it much more difficult than it needs to be. I am not classically trained. I've never gone to culinary school. And for me, it was logical that if I burnt myself or cut myself or dropped something, we wouldn't hide it. We would leave it in the episodes. People will come up and they'll say, you make me feel like I can cook. My newest cookbook is called Recipes with Intentional Leftovers. There's 19 master recipes. How to make a brisket, how to make a great chili, how to make a quick bread, even silly things like how to make perfect steamed rice or hard-boiled eggs. But after we show you those master recipes, there's 5 or 6 recipes on what to turn that main ingredient into. Sometimes I think people just need a little kick in the butt, a little kick in the food inspiration part of their thinking. And I want to be the guy to try and bring that and help people get that.
Well, you've definitely brought that. I know that you've inspired me to allow my wife to cook more than I like. I don't like to have a bunch of leftovers. I like to just eat just enough at that moment. But you also have 3 restaurants, right? So,
yeah.
So during the pandemic, like how has it, slowed down the restaurant business for you?
It's absolutely slowed them down. We are in the same boat as all our other restaurant friends and family members here in San Diego and across the country. We've had to furlough, roughly 90+% of our staff, which is miserable. It's the worst thing to do. And I've been saying, look, if you have favorite restaurants, now's the time to go and say this. I'd like to order a pizza. I'd like to order lasagna, but order 2 of them. Take that extra lasagna. I know, Quincy, you said you don't want leftovers. I don't really understand that. You need to get a change in your thinking, my friend.
Yes. I'm a minimalist. I've been told.
Take that. So am I. But that doesn't mean that extra lasagna can't be properly wrapped, go into the freezer, and then a week from now, you bring it out and turn it into something. That's what freezers are for goodness sake.
Absolutely. Very good advice. And Sam, you've been so wonderful to talk with today. You're amazing. Obviously, you have a lot of followers there. And thank you for spending some time with us here on Main Street Living.
No, my pleasure. I love spreading the word. People can cook. They just don't know it.
You don't need to be a chef. You just need to be a cooking guy.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And you can find Sam at thecookingguy.com. Thanks you again.
So much, Sam.
Thanks, you guys. You bet. Happy holidays.
All right, you too.
You too.
All right, stick with us right here on Main Street Living because we are going to talk about how you can safely visit California parks. Welcome back into Main Street Living. Now, I'm sure I'm not alone when I say that I miss traveling so much. And I know that Cheryl is especially our travel bug. And I don't know how she's gone this long without doing a trip, frankly.
Well, no, but I have. Like we talked about in the open, I've still been able to travel. And, national parks I've been able to do, which is amazing.
Oh, I meant just it's been at least 4 days, right? Since you've traveled?
That's a good point here. But, I gotta say, a lot of people around the country are making the best of it. And in any normal year, students from all over California would take field trips to some of the 280 state parks to learn about the area, animals, and monuments. Now, this year, of course, the park's virtual education program, PORTS, has seen a rise in students from all over the U.S. as park interpreters take them on reimagined field trips. Take a look.
Parks California is a statewide nonprofit partner to California State Parks. And what that means is we work across the entire state of California, all 280 state parks, and we work in partnership with the parks team.
PORTS was started about 15 years ago as an opportunity for students to engage with California State Parks virtually through live interactive video conferences. And we built the program many, many years ago as a means to provide access and equity for California's K-12 students.
This is a replica of juvenile shark jaws. Oh my gosh, a juvenile shark jaw is bigger than my whole face.
We offer programs from about 20 different parks now. All of our programs are aligned with academic content standards, whether it's next generation science standards or Common Core state standards. And we'll talk to kids from K through 12, whether it's science or history, language arts, even math. So we try to provide standards-based programs. Some of the topics that we offer are Anza Borrego Desert State Park.
Take a look at this.
Where they find lots of ice age fossils. So we do programs on desert ecosystems and ecology, the fossils that are found here, all the way to the other side of the state with redwood forest, the Gold Rush, which is a popular program for 4th grade, obviously. We have a program at Hearst Castle and the State Capitol Museum on California history and statehood. So we have a wide variety of programs.
1, 2, 3. Whoa, here we go. Okay, so this is our mammoth leg bone, our Colombian mammoth leg bone.
So I have the wonderful job of getting to connect with students from around California every single day, virtually, either in their classrooms or now at home. And I get to teach about all of the wonderful things that we protect here at Anza Borrego.
Since March and the school disruption, we basically turned many of our programs into what we call home learning programs. That's a great program for homeschoolers or these pods that have popped up, or just families that are learning from home, or teachers that want to even maybe give an assignment for a virtual classroom.
So sometimes they can grow to be as wide as a 2-lane road and as tall as a 30-story building.
So all the kids want to know about the animals that we have here. You know, what kinds of snakes do we have? What kinds of fossils do we find? All types of things that, you know, they're eager to see if they were here in person. You know, they want me to be able to share that with them. A little fan mail, that's what I call it, that a student wrote to me last spring. It says, "Dear Lydia, thank you for giving us a tour. It was so fun. My favorite part was the animals. Even though I don't like snakes, you showing me, now I'm not so scared. When I grow up, I want to be a ranger for the forest. Thanks again. It was amazing."
The Ports program became the connector back to state parks, right? It became the actual way to stay engaged with the outdoors when you weren't sure that you could get there. And as we look forward, of course, the goal is still to go back to in-person field trips, to get kids back into parks.
Each of these layers are going to pop off.
Ideally, when they come to visit, if they have a little bit of background about the park or the person that told them about the history or nature, that maybe there's also this connection with that place already. Learning happens faster and better because there's already this connection with that place thanks to these kind of highly engaging programs that we're putting out there.
Thank you all so much. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay cool, and hopefully maybe you'll come out and visit me one day. All right, bye.
Oh, that's so cool. And if you're curious about any of the California parks or want more information, go to parkscalifornia.org.
That's right, Cheryl and Danielle. And whether it's virtual or not, we cannot let 2020 keep us from enjoying the holiday season. So when we come back, we have some very cool, inspiring tips to cope. Stay right there. Welcome back to Main Street Living, everyone. Ladies, 2020 has felt like the most, I hate to say this, negative year in our lifetime, right?
It is. It's hard. It's hard to stay positive, right? But yeah, so, I mean, it's normal, though, this time of year, especially to feel emotional or maybe a little disconnected. So here to talk to us a little bit about how to stay connected, and especially with family this time of year, is Dana McNeil, a therapist from The Relationship Place. Dana, thanks so much for joining us on Main Street Living.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So tell us, especially this year when it's been chaotic, it's been a little bit emotional for most. What would you say is the most important thing we can do this holiday season to make it, you know, special and feel like Christmas?
I want to really encourage all of your viewers to just focus on self-care, right? We've been going through a lot. So making sure that you're letting yourself feel your feelings. Don't try to shove them down. Don't try to get rid of them. You're not going to cry forever. So let yourself feel them, but also find the silver linings, right? Just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad. It's not something you're used to doing, but it doesn't mean you can't create some new traditions or do things that feel even more unique and special than maybe you've done in past years. So, maybe you play a game by Zoom. Maybe you have a toast by Zoom. Zoom is a way to connect with people right now. And so do something that feels like self-care. Plan out a day of playing games, binge watch, Netflix and chill. Make sure that you're resting, make sure that you're exercising, you're moving your body, volunteer. There's all kinds of things that you can do that just because it's different doesn't mean that it's bad. I know it's so important, and it can be hard sometimes too to make yourself get out of bed and want to do those things. But like you said, there are still things that we can do. We have to focus on the positive and be thankful. And so what are some ways that we can still feel connected to family and friends during this time? Because I know that's what we all want to do during the holidays. Yeah. Why don't you make a toast with each other? I mean, you could call each other on Zoom and see each other and have a toast at the same time. You could eat dinner together. You could play a game. You can play a card game together. There's apps where you can be on the card game at the same time and be watching each other. There's lots of things that you can do to stay connected. You can talk on the phone. You can be old school. Pick up the telephone and give each other a call. I know, the phone. What's that, right? I feel like nowadays, everybody is FaceTiming at 11 o'clock at night when I have no makeup on and glasses. I'm like, no, it's just my phone.
We just want to see your face, Cheryl.
No. You can turn the video camera off on Zoom. You don't have to always,
That's a great note. That's a great note. If you're not feeling up to par for the Zoom video, you have the audio. What are some other ways that people can, not feel so isolated this time of year, especially, and after the year we've had, because a lot of people are having stay-at-home orders reinforced?
Consider volunteering, right? Is there a neighbor that can't get out that keeps their dog in the yard and you can take the dog for a walk? Can you start a virtual food drive in your neighborhood? We have neighborhood areas where people are putting cans of food out and saying, take what you need, leave what you can. There's things that you can do that create those feel-good endorphins that we get from doing something kind for someone else. It makes us feel connected and it reminds us that we're not alone. Yeah, and that's key. And so many people, still do feel alone no matter what you say to them. And what would be your advice for us to say if we have a family member or friend who, maybe should talk to a professional counselor or a therapist? How do we encourage them to do something like that? Let them know that it's normal. Right? That everybody feels this way at some time. But I, as your family member, I'm not a therapist, right? I'm good at listening. I'm good at nodding and saying, yes, that makes perfect sense. But I don't know how to give you coping skills. And I'm going through some of my own stuff too. So maybe say we could go together as a family if they're scared or they're nervous or they think it means something's wrong with them. Tell them that it's important that they do self-care because they're important to you.
That's so important. Absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely love that. And it's important to let people know that it's very normal, and especially this time of year. So I hope that everybody got something from this. I don't know about you, Cheryl. I felt like I got a little bit calmer, a little bit more ready for the holidays there.
True. And Dana, you have such a calming voice there. And, I actually think it's fun to talk to a counselor. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
They have to listen. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we generally do care about you. I think that sometimes people worry, I have to pay a friend or I have to pay for someone to listen to me. What does that mean about me? What that means is you get somebody who's completely invested in you and doing what makes sense for your life and wanting you to have the best life possible. Friends and family members have agendas. They have biases. They have hopes that you'll do things in a certain way that benefits them or their relationship with you. Therapists just want you to have the best life that you can. And so we're a safe place for you to come and talk about your needs. Oh, Dana, I agree. Thank you so much. Your information is there on the screen. We really appreciate it. Happy holidays to you. Have a happy holidays, ladies. See you next time.
Bye, Dana.
A lot more ahead on Main Street Living. Coming up, it's the season of giving back. And our next story just might inspire you to help others, as Dana has said. Don't miss it. Welcome back to Main Street Living. You know, if you're looking for some extra cheer in your life, a lot of people are finding that giving back to the community makes them feel good. And many are actually making that their New Year's resolution.
Yeah, that's true. I know 2020 for me was about giving back. And when it comes to the homeless population, ladies, I would say 3 words come to mind: work, recovery, and support. That's also the mission of the Alpha Project in San Diego. See, they're one of the most unique programs in the country, helping homeless people who are motivated to change their lives and work towards achieving self-sufficiency. Check this out.
Step up, just call me, KB.
So, you know, we're coming to your community to clean it up. You know, we're breaking that stereotype of what a homeless person is, this subculture of society. We're just brothers, sisters, mom, dad, grandmas, and grandpas, being part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
So, ladies and gentlemen, left-hand side, don't forget weave in and out of cars. No jaywalking, ladies and gentlemen.
So it's a win-win for everybody.
You see any cigarette butts, pick up cigarette butts. But ain't no race, y'all.
The difference between Alpha Project and others is, as I said, we have 2 elementary schools here, a half a block away from us. We maintain those campuses, we mentor those kids, we make sure that there's no drug dealing, drug use, encampments around their facilities, or anywhere in our neighborhood. We self-police, and that's all a testament to the folks here that used to be out there.
Watch out for sharp objects, ladies and gentlemen.
Ed's, you know, once again, he's a perfect example of the quality, the caliber of the men and women that have been outside on the streets.
Here in San Diego for over 50 years, raised in Chula Vista, went to Bonita Vista High School, class of 77, have worked all my life since 1975. But suddenly in 2016, the winter, we had that flu that came through. Over 300 San Diegans died. I apparently was struck with it, and through whatever complications happened, as it turned out, I had a stroke. I was bleeding in my brain, and I lost all muscle control. It's a nightmare, and it just suddenly happens, as it can to any American, and it's one of the things you never think will happen to you, but it can.
The onus of responsibility need to go to our folks like Ed, people you've seen here that have tremendous skill, tremendous wisdom, and give them the opportunity to shine. It's that peer-to-peer support, talking to the folks out there and bringing folks in here to start the process.
Let's go.
KB wants us to be safe. He wants it to be fun, if at all possible, but we're also communicating with each other in the field when we're out there, taking care of San Diego, and we're cleaning it up. We're also giving solutions to each other, talking to each other about how did you get here? Where's your family? What do you hope for?
Society as a whole and citizens, certainly San Diegans, are so willing to help if they can see positivity, if they can see change, if they can see a reward or benefit from that help. Wheels of Change is the perfect example. You know, these are $5 donations, $10 donations to get our people out there, and they can see these folks making a difference. They can see the pride that our folks have that are here, not only cleaning up the communities, but mentoring peer-to-peer with the folks they've maybe been camping with for 20 years.
On behalf of Alpha Project, good job today. For the Go Do Lunch, good job. Appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen.
When they come back in from work, it's phenomenal to see, you know, homeowners came out and say, hey, we're so happy you're here. God bless you. Businesses coming out bringing waters. And to have these communities come and neighborhoods come and embrace you, say thank you for being here, man, that's a huge paradigm shift.
I always enjoy watching their work and what they do for the community. And to learn more about the Alpha Project or to support their efforts, you can reach out to alphaproject.org.
I love that. And I love when we talk about giving back all year round, especially this time of the season, though. So coming up next, we are going to talk about giving back food at this very important time for everybody. Stick with us.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Ladies, earlier in the show, we enjoyed some laughs with Sam the cooking guy, but I know for so many in this country, you know, going hungry in 2020 is definitely no laughing matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a real possibility for more people than ever. 2020 has been a tough year for so many reasons. I mean, job losses are on the rise still with COVID, and many families are struggling to put food on the table. So a group in California is helping families bridge the gap. Feeding San Diego says the face of hunger is changing.
Feeding San Diego is the leading hunger relief and food rescue organization in San Diego County. Our mission is to connect every person facing hunger with nutritious meals by maximizing food rescue. Last year, we distributed more than 31.2 million meals across San Diego County to people facing hunger, and 92% of that food was rescued. Hunger has always been a crisis in San Diego County, but COVID has deepened the crisis. Unfortunately, thousands of people across San Diego County are facing hunger right now, and many are doing so for the first time. The reality is that it really changed so many things. It impacted the number of people that need access to food assistance. It has significantly upturned our operating model because we've actually had to change all of our distributions to be drive-through models to ensure safe distancing and social distancing. And it's also really upended the food system in general. There's been a run on grocery stores, restaurants, and the convention center and the zoo, all the places that we rescue food from. A lot of their attendance is down, or restaurants have had to be closed. And so that's really impacted our ability to also rescue food. So as a result, our costs to operate have really skyrocketed. We've just overall had to reinvent ourselves a little bit over the last number of months, and we've had to actually purchase a lot more food than ever before. Normally, in a given year, we purchase about 24 truckloads of food in total, so about 2 truckloads of food a month. And since COVID, between March and the end of June, we actually had to purchase over 200 truckloads of food just to help keep up with the rise in need. So our operations really have been affected. Many people have been living paycheck to paycheck and are not able to withstand this volatile time. So we're unfortunately having to turn to Feeding San Diego for the first time. Often people who are facing hunger are faced with impossible choices. Do they use the little money they have to purchase food, or do they pay for rent, pay for medical bills, pay for their car? So we just really want people to know that we're here to help. We have hundreds of food distributions across San Diego County. We have a map on our website. People can go to feedingsandiego.org/gethelp to find a distribution that's closest to them. The best way for people to help during this time of need is to make a monetary donation to Feeding San Diego. Every dollar donated to Feeding San Diego, because of our purchasing power, can be turned into many nutritious meals for children, families, and seniors facing hunger. No act is too big or too small. We're just so grateful for everybody's support throughout the community. And really, the solution to addressing this pandemic and to ending hunger is going to take all of us coming together to work together to meet this need.
What a great package. And once again, if you find yourself in a position to help, please check out their website, feedingsandiego.org.
That's right. Doing so many good things for the community. Make sure you stay with us because we have more Main Street Living coming up, and I am putting these back on. We're getting festive. Don't go anywhere.
Yes.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. We hope that you are enjoying this time of the year. I know that it's certainly different, but remember, focus on what you do have and what you can be thankful for.
That is so important, because 2021, we don't know what's in store, just like we didn't know what 2020 was going to be. So still go into it with the same amount of positivity as you came into this year.
Yes, I'm bringing
I disagree, Quincy. I disagree. So I think that last year, how many people did you see posting like 2020 is going to be my year?
Oh my gosh, yeah, true.
Right.
So but this year, the expectations are tampered. So it can only go up, people. It can only go up. 2021 will be better than 2020.
Yes, it has to be better than 2020. So speaking of 2021, what are your New Year's resolutions?
Do better than I did this year. That's the only thing.
What does that mean?
That's a good blanket one for everyone.
Yeah.
Be better.
Just do better than I did. Yeah. Do and be better.
I want to stretch more, because I always say I'm going to, and I don't, and I'm not getting any younger, and my back is reminding me of that. And especially because we've been at home a lot and we're sitting probably a lot more. So stretching every day.
That's a good one. And I said this earlier in the show, I would love to be a better cook. I'd love to know how to make some more things. And You know, it's so much easier just to get takeout, or I don't know, but I'd love to be able to cook something on my own.
Yeah. We have to watch Sam the Cooking Guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. You know, Danielle was talking about moving. I know I'm turning 45 this in
and proud.
So
yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
I got to keep it moving, just like you can catch us on the move on our Cox Contour app as well.
Absolutely. So and guys, my birthday, December 27. Happy birthday to me.
Yeah, of course.
Join us next time. New episodes Mondays at 9 p.m. as we take our next stroll down Main Street. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.